Hi, this is James Preller, and today we're here for the final reading from my book from the Scary Tales series, Goodnight, Zombie. This is it, the final thrilling conclusion. Um, you've watched the other four, hopefully in order. Otherwise, it would be a little chaotic, a little confusing if you just randomly shuffle them. So hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4. So things are really happening now. The zombies have breached the school. Okay, chapter 12, and they came. Things happened quickly. A haze of events, shouts and screams and wild terror. Esme burst out of the bathroom, the door flung wide. She was ashen-faced, followed by 3 dark figures who had broken through the glass window inside. Their bodies were stiff and convulsive. They moved in fits and jerks, but they were not slow. Their eyes were clouded white, unseeing. They're blind, Carter realized. And again, here's some artwork from the great Jacopo Bruno. Awesome, right? Good fun. The creatures moaned. The smell of death trailed them like a shadow. Carter and Arnold stood frozen in fear. Esme scrambled toward them. Frantic, trembling, they stood together in shock, too stunned to move. Not one living soul stirred. The horror was too immense, too overwhelming. More windows crashed, more noises came from down the hall. Vanderklemp pushed forward past Carter, clutching a mop crossways. "Go," he spat. "Don't look back. Just run. Get to the roof." But, Vanderklemp roared a thunderous cry, and he plunged forward to battle the undead. They did not look back. Carter took Esme's hand, and they all ran down the corridors, past the lobby. "In here, the gym," Carter said. "They're blind. Maybe we can hide." "They can smell us," Arnold argued. More zombies filled the hallway. Arnold hurried to the sports supply closet, where earlier he had found the field hockey stick. He tossed makeshift weapons to Carter and Esme, outfitting his companions like some bizarre army in a future war game. They listened to the shuffling of feet, the rising hum of animal groans. Carter saw a hatch on the ceiling with a pull cord. "Esme, climb up and open that hatch. We'll hold them off." "I can't." But there was no time. The zombies followed their trail like hounds and had reached the entranceway. Carter swung his stick in wide, swooshing arcs. Arnold stood by a huge basket of baseballs and fired them at the heads of oncoming zombies. Zing, boing, crack, thwack! Skulls exploded. Zombies staggered and fell like bowling pins. And again, another piece of art. There's Arnold. But they kept coming and kept coming. Too many. Up, Esme climbed up to the top of the bleachers. Can't was not an option. She strained for the cord. She grasped it. Down she fell with a painful thud, and then down the hatch came, a ladder unfolding to the floor. "Up, up, up!" Carter cried. They crawled and scrambled and climbed. Gray, dead hands clawed at their feet. But the 3 fifth-graders escaped to the roof and slammed the hatch shut. This chapter has a lot of artwork. They don't all, but yeah, I love that, the hands. One more. Chapter 13, Sunrise. They lay sprawled on the flat roof, panting, dazed, and exhausted. Safe. Esme sat up, looked around. She was bruised and battered and thrilled to be alive. Mist hung in the air. It was still dark, still full of gloom. The roof was empty. There was an air conditioning vent, some random pipes, a door, and a door. Guys, where's that door go? Esme asked. At that moment, the door splintered open. The zombies moaned. They would not stop. They could not be stopped. And so they poured onto the roof like a deathless, unyielding flood. Carter, Arnold, and Esme stood in a trembling knot. They huddled close, waiting. They inched toward the edge of the building, looked down. It was too far to jump. I'm frightened, Esme whispered. Shh, Carter whispered. Be brave. A subtle change in light caused Esme to turn and face the east. Look, she said. The dawn's first slant of light appeared over the horizon. It blazed like a flaming arrow across the sky. In that instant, the spell broke, just as Vanderklemp said it would. The zombies evaporated into dust and ash. The mist cleared in a whoosh, as if sucked from the sky. And so began a new day. Chapter 14, Strangers at School. On Monday, if you remember earlier, we talked about how minds are erased. Everything is forgotten, right? This has been going on for more than 100 years. On Monday morning, hundreds of students spilled out of buses in front of Buzz Aldrin Elementary. It was clean and beautiful. No broken windows, just a few crows on the lush green lawn, a normal school on a typical Monday. Esme Milstein paused outside the building. She filled her lungs with fresh, crisp, cool air. She had several pages folded neatly in her back pocket. They contained a haunting, amazing, impossible story. Could it be true? Esme didn't know. She couldn't be sure. She didn't even remember writing it. Coming through, a voice called. It was a boy on a skateboard wearing a baseball cap screwed on sideways. He lightly bumped Esme as he zoomed toward the front doors. Esme remembered the boy from Mr. Hoteling's class. Arnold Chang. Watch it, Esme called after him. The boy stepped off the skateboard. He paused to look at Esme. There was something in his eyes. A look of recognition passed between them. He smiled at Esme, opened his palm, and held it up for her to read. Vanderklemp rocks. Forgive the mirror image, but there it is. She had written it on his palm. I can't wash it off, he said. Vanderklemp. The words were in Esme's own handwriting. She had put it there, just as she had written the same name in her story. Images from Friday night flickered in her mind. She remembered everything. Inside the school, Esme noticed Carter Novak standing in front of the display case by the main office. He studied an old black and white school photograph. It was a group shot with students, teachers, even the janitorial staff. "What are you looking at?" Esme asked Carter. Carter stared at the girl, perhaps seeing her for the very first time. He pointed at the old janitor in the photo. He had dark bags under his eyes. Thin tufts of hair grew out of his balding skull. He had crooked teeth and a strange, wary smile. The date on the photograph was stamped on the lower left corner, 1886. This is the photograph there. You see the janitor, the tall man. "I feel like I met him somewhere before. But that's not possible, right?" Carter said. Esme pointed to the caption. "Third row left," she read. "Joris Vanderklemp, janitor." The bell rang. It was time to go. Esme did not wish to be late. Carter grabbed Esme's sleeve. "I remember now," he said. "I remember you. I remember all of it." "Me too," Esme said, and she smiled, even as a cold chill entered the building and made her shiver. These books always end with a little outro. So we say farewell to Carter, Arnold, and Esme, 3 students who shared a night they'll never forget. They remember, thanks to words written in the eerie silence of a darkened library. And what, we wonder, became of Mr. Vanderklemp? No one can say. But next time you find yourself alone in the halls of school, perhaps close to dusk, be sure you don't get locked inside. It could make for an awfully long night. The end. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and you're awesome. Check out my other videos if you want. What else? Yeah, there's 6 books in the Scary Tales series. Every story is different, different characters, different setting. The One-Eyed Doll, Swamp Monster, NIGHTMARELAND, about a kid who gets stuck in a video game. Ice Cream, You Scream, and Home Sweet Horror. So I think that's all. That would be all 6 along with that. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Be well. Thank you for taking this little ride with me. Hopefully it was fun. All good fun. Zombies aren't real, we know that. But it is fun to think about and to enjoy. So be well, take care, stay safe, and always protect the vulnerable. Thank you, and hopefully I'll be seeing you around. Bye-bye.